The air is electric here tonight. I'm excited for you guys to be here for another episode of the Marvel Legendary Progression Series. My name is Jinjo's, coming from the booth. We're going to be watching our players, Harrison and Miles, duke it out to hopefully have a victory today for the last scheme in the Fantastic Four expansion pack. This expansion has not been kind to them. They have lost 2 out of the 3 games they have played so far, and walking away from this game, losing the third one, would just be pitiful, would be sad, and they are not gonna stand for it. They're excited to get into this gameplay for sure. Let's jump right in. We're gonna be announcing the heroes that are going to be coming out of vacation, so they're gonna be back into the main pool of heroes that could be chosen or randomly chosen for today's gameplay. And the heroes we have lined up for you that are back in the pool are going to be Human Torch, Iceman, Invisible Woman, Mr. Fantastic, and Thing. Some extremely powerful heroes in here, including all 4 members of the Fantastic Four. They are back and ready for some action here. Let's scooch into today's setup. We're going to be doing a slightly different variation on the setup we've been doing. We're going to be having 3 randomly chosen heroes and 2 chosen heroes, alternating. The first one is going to be random, then chosen, and then random again, and then we'll see what the villains are going to be up to. Let's jump right into it. The first randomized hero that is coming up is going to be Spider-Man. This is not, I repeat, not a very good choice for our players here. Spider-Man is considered one of the weakest heroes that came out of the core box. He just is not very well supported. It takes a very specific deck in order for him to pop off and to do what he does best, drawing small costed recruit cards and accumulate a lot of attack through playing a bunch of cards all in one turn. But that has that requirement of having those cards need to cost 2 or less in order to be drawn off of all of his cards. The one benefit he does have is he's bringing 4 cards that all cost 2 in order to recruit them, so he can draw his own cards. The power level of these cards drop off significantly in the mid game, as they can pick up your agents, your troopers, and all that stuff. But once you start bringing in other heroes, cards that cost 3 or more, they can. Once you get one of those cards that cost 3 or more on the top of your deck, it's just an absolute brick. You can't do anything about it, and your Spider-Man cards just end up being troopers and agents, and it's just not a good look, and it isn't going to progress your gameplay. So our players really need to decide if they're going to lean into this or not, whether they're going to completely ignore Spider-Man or try and elevate his cards so that they can perform at the top, the best that they possibly can be. The second hero that is going to be lined up is a chosen hero, and looks like they've decided to lean into the Spider-Man setup because they're bringing in Elektra. She brings a 1-coster and a 2-coster common, both of them very solid. First Strike is a card you can divvy out, you can hand out to as many players as possible, because it only triggers if it's the first card played. You don't want to have a bunch of these cards in your deck, as each copy, the power level of each copy just goes significantly down. As if you draw 2 or God forbid even 3 First Strikes in your hand, those cards just, the power level drops so significantly that they're not even worth it. Her other common card in Jitsu does replace itself when played, gives you a nice little recruit boost if you can activate it through a covert card, which we don't have much of right now, but I'm sure we'll be able to find ways to increase our covert count so we can get that activated as much as possible. Side Blades can also do a significant amount of damage depending on the setup we have right now, and so far we do have 4 common cards, all of them costing 1 or 2, so Side Blades is looking like an extremely powerful card in the setup so far. The next hero that is chosen is going to be random. It looks like it is going to be Daredevil. This is a very interesting card to be in this setup. He provides covert cards and instinct as well, so we have a nice concentration. They have a nice concentration of heroes with all the same hero class, which could be a pretty big benefit depending on the setup that they're going to be going up against. But what's also great about it is his cards all deal with guessing the top card of your deck. If you get it right, you either get to draw it, gain extra attack, things like that. Now, what's great about this, these can be combined with these Spider-Man cards. If our players are playing their Spider-Man cards, drawing cards at the top, and they hit that brick, that one card that they can't draw because it costs 3 or more, then they could bring in the Daredevil cards, be able to play them because they know exactly what's on top of the deck, and they can guarantee those bonuses. It's a really interesting setup. Probably need a nice balance between Spider-Man and Daredevil cards. I doubt you can be able to just recruit all of them willy-nilly without putting in some thought process into the concentration of each hero that you have in your deck. Overall, I think this is a pretty huge positive, and I think this sort of collection of heroes to support the Spider-Man card that was the very first hero choice, I think is coming together. The fourth hero is going to be a chosen one, and it looks like they decided to go with X-Force Wolverine. Provides a 2-costing card to common. It's instinct. It's triggered by instinct cards. They already have a plethora of those with Daredevil, Elektra, and Spider-Man as well. Sudden Ambush, I think, is going to be the absolute golden card, the mythic common card in this game. Deals out 2 damage, but deals out a total of 4 if you've drawn a card this turn. And as of right now, Elektra provides a common card that guarantees that draw. Spider-Man provides 3 cards that all could possibly draw a card as long as that card costs 2 or less. Absolutely incredible. Daredevil brings one an uncommon as well. I think that Sudden Ambush is going to be activated every single time that it is played, and a common card that dishes out 4 damage every time it's played is absolutely incredible and is going to win the game for sure. So I'd say keep an eye out for that Sudden Ambush. As soon as those pop up, I think our players are going to be just drooling, just thirsty for that card to be in their deck. The fifth hero is going to be a randomly chosen one, and looks like our players are just on a roll. They're putting in all their luck in this game because they do not want to lose a third one in the Fantastic Four expansion. It is going to be Bishop, bringing a common 2-costing card that not only draws a card and replaces itself, but if it's activated by a covert card, you can KO a card from their hand or discard pile. That's exactly what our players need. They need that KO ability, that power to thin out this deck, to get rid of all of the agents, the troopers, and just leave them with the good stuff. Especially in a situation like this with Spider-Man or Elektra, we want these low-costing cards. So we're going to need a lot of the low-costing cards and get rid of the fluff so that we can get to those cards more often and quicker. Bishop does want also has absorbed energies, another covert card, which is great. We get a little benefit from KOing cards, which will be happening with Bishop. His uncommon card probably won't be activated as much, but still provides 3 attack on a card, which isn't the worst thing that you could possibly do in a game of Marvel Legendary. As of right now, I think our players have a very good chance of taking on Eddie's scheme and seeing some success. Let's see what our villains are going to be up to. First thing up is going to be the scheme. It is the last one in the expansion, and it is the Invisible Force Field. It's going to have 7 twists in the villain deck. If all 7 twists are drawn, Evil is going to win. For every single one that is drawn, it's going to put a force field around the Mastermind, and we're going to have to pay, our players are going to have to pay an extra attack or recruit for each scheme twist that has been drawn. The amount of it's equal to the amount of force fields that are covering the Mastermind. This is definitely going to prolong the game. This can be a pretty difficult setup, especially if it's combined with the Mastermind with a higher attack HP value. It just all depends on who that Mastermind is. It looks like our players are up for definitely a challenge because the Mastermind that they have is going to be Galactus. 20 HP, does have Cosmic Threat though for all of the hero classes, which is great. They basically choose a hero class, reveal any number of those cards. It's going to reduce his HP down by 3 for every single one that's revealed. And what's great about it is in the hero setup, where they have a lot of instinct cards and a lot of covert cards. So hopefully they'll be able to achieve that on a regular basis when so they can take out Galactus quickly before the force field increases or his Master Strike alternate win condition happens. Because every time a Master Strike is drawn, a city space is going to be destroyed, the one closest to the Mastermind. And once all 5 of those are destroyed, Evil is going to win. The one lucky thing they have is usually when Galactus is destroying these cities, it's going to lead to more villains escaping. But luckily, the scheme twist doesn't feed off of villains escaping or the amount of non-gray hero cards that are KO'd, things like that. I think this is a kind of a perfect setup that we're going to have a very powerful hero setup, we're going to have a tough villain setup, and we're going to see who comes out on top. In terms of the rest of it, the first villain group is the always lead group. It is going to be the Heralds of Galactus. All of them do have Cosmic Threat of various different types. They probably won't be able to cover all of them because their team is so focused in on instinct and covert cards. But they aren't the most devastating of villain groups. They're not going to completely wreck our players' plan. I think they'll be able to take them on pretty fairly. The next randomly chosen villain group is going to be the Underworld. They're pretty interesting. They do have various negative effects. Dracula is going to be capturing cards off the top of the hero deck, carrying those cards to the end, and if he escapes, we're going to be losing that card forever as well. Lilith feeds off of the Dracula card. We want to get those Dracula cards in our victory pile to avoid the wound from Lilith. And overall, not too difficult of a villain setup, but they do have some negative effects that we do need to be cautious about for sure. In terms of our henchmen, this is the one negative part about the progression series that we have so far. The henchman pool is extremely low. I believe they only have 6 options at a time, but we'll just have to deal with that as they come. Hopefully we'll get some new henchmen in the pool so that we can just have a little bit of variety in that area. But it looks like the one that is randomly chosen is going to be the Phalanx. Every time we fight them, we're going to have to reveal a tech hero, or we're going to have to KO a card with an attack icon. This is going to be interesting because I feel like there are some non-gray cards that we could potentially KO off of this. Things like First Strike. If one player ends up with too many of them, we could KO those to thin the deck out and just have them not be so, we want all the cards to be useful. If we have too many First Strikes, the value of each consecutive one just goes down for every single one that's recruited in the same deck. We could also use that to get rid of Spider-Man cards if they're not pulling their weight, which is great. Overall, the Phalanx can be a little difficult to work around, but I think it's going to be a benefit no matter what. Benefit in this sort of situation. All right, looks like our players are shuffled up and ready to go. Let's get the HQ set up, and looks like we have a firepower for the future, a rare card. Oh my goodness, another rare card from Wolverine, the Amazing Spider-Man. That's a 3rd rare card. Man, a First Strike, and wow, and an Astonishing Strength. Man, 3 rare cards in the HQ is a little rough, especially those 2 that cost 7. Those are probably going to be sitting in the HQ for quite a while, especially with the setup that they have right now. With so many low-costing heroes, they're not going to be dishing out a ton of recruit in order to pick those up. But that Amazing Spider-Man is an extremely powerful card in the early games. I mean, playing that, it basically says draw 3 cards in the early part of the game. So I think that's definitely going to be the first thing that's going to be picked up by Miles here, who's going to start us out. Top card is going to be a Dracula. He is going to capture basically the top. Oh my heavens, what is happening? What is happening? So Dracula is going to capture the top card of the hero deck, and he ended up grabbing the Man Without Fear. That is a Daredevil card, Daredevil's rare card, and Dracula's HP is currently at 8, 9, 10, and 11. Just absolutely incredible. If they could take that out, they get a really strong rare card though. Miles here is going to be picking up the Amazing Spider-Man. Pretty obvious pickup at this point. And honestly, with the setup they have, it's probably going to be one of the strongest cards in the game for sure. It's going to pick up an Astonishing Strength as well. That is going to just kind of keep on the theme of. Looks like Miles is going to be the one who wants to collect all the Spider-Man cards, so there's a home for them right now. Passing over to Harrison, Scheme Twist off at the top. That is the first force field that is going to go over Galactus here. They're going to have to spend either 1 attack or 1 recruit in order to go through that force field, and then they can actually hit Galactus. Looks like Harrison's going to pick up the first strike of the game. He's got 2 left, and he's going to pick up what it was replaced by, which is an Animal Instincts, which is an absolutely solid card. It's going to replace itself. If it's activated by an Instinct hero, going to get +2 attack. There are plenty of Instinct heroes in the hero deck right now to keep that activated. Passing over to Miles here. Going with the 4 and 2. Top card is going to be a Phalanx. This one could be a little difficult sometimes, fighting it, and you have to KO a card with an attack icon. There are very few of those right now. But if you can load up on these first strikes, that maybe you can KO one of those and not stress about it, or this Great Responsibility you picked up, then the Phalanx is going to be too much trouble. He's going to pick up the Great Responsibility, a first strike, and does he want to pick up the second first strike here? Looks like he does. Looks like he's going to be... No! Oh, looks like he's contemplating. Does he want to let Miles get this one as well? Well, he's going to pass it on over, and we'll see what happens. That was Miles seeing if he wanted Harrison in order to pick up the second copy of it. Another Scheme Twist off the top. That's the second force field now for Galactus. And it looks like we just have a bunch for Recruit 5 right now. He could pick up a lot of different things right now. He's probably going to pick up... Yep, he's going to pick up that first strike that Miles let him grab. So now there are 4 first strikes that are now recruited in total. Pretty dang solid. He's going to pick up Ninjutsu to go along with the 2 first strikes he has. And a Sudden Ambush off the top. That is definitely the golden, one of the best cards in the game. It's pretty much always going to be activated in the setup, but he's going to pick up that Web Shooter just to get it out of the HQ. Web Shooter is an interesting card. It takes a very specific setup for it to be very strong. It doesn't provide any attack or recruit, but in this setup, it is basically going to be drawing a card every time it is played. So it's kind of free in order to recruit it. Pass on to Miles here. Got a really strong hand right now. 3 of his non-great cards, and he's going to play that Amazing Spider-Man. Let's see what he can draw off of it. He's got, as of right now, he could draw any card in his deck. And it looks like, yep, he's picking up all 3 of these. Looks like he's got a Soldier, an Agent, and a Astonishing Strength. It looks like the chain is going to keep going. Just keep drawing and drawing. I mean, this is exactly what the Spider-Man cards want to be doing. They want to be drawing all of these gray heroes in the early turns. in order to just, have a really strong surge in the early game in order to get to the mid game, and just to keep as many cards in his deck costing 2 or less, so he can keep drawing and keeping that chain going. But he does have 5 recruit, and that sudden ambush is just staring him in the face. And I think, looks like he's contemplating radar sense. That doesn't, sudden ambush is just hands down better. And it looks like he made the right choice there, in my opinion anyways. So we picked up that sudden ambush. That is going to be a slight brick in his deck in terms of his Spider-Man cards, but I think it's just absolutely worth it in this situation. Had 6 attack, he's going to take out both of these Phalanxes, and it looks like he's going to thin his deck out by taking out 2 of his soldiers here. It looks like he's just going to pass it on over. I think KOing those soldiers isn't too bad in this situation. He has plenty of first strikes. He has plenty of non-gray cards that are providing damage for him. Top card for Harrison is going to be a Morgue. When that enters, all cards in the HQ that are not an instinct card are going to go to the bottom of the hero deck. And I think that's definitely a blessing here, being able to bottom both of those rare cards that they're probably not going to be able to pick up anytime soon. And it's going to be replaced with a No Mercy, whatever the cost, and an Animal Instincts. Absolutely worth, totally 100% worth getting rid of those rare cards for these 3. Just absolutely, just very strong cards, especially No Mercy here. Playing that just draws you a card, KOs a card. Very solid. You want to pick that up nice and early, so you can take advantage of that KO ability. Looks like he's going to pick up that whatever the cost, though. Looks like he's got plenty of ways to activate it in his deck so far, and it just draws and replaces itself. There's 3 Animal Instincts in the HQ, which I think is great for our players. Looks like Harrison has 1 of them, so there's 4 of them have been revealed so far. Might be able to divide it up and get 2 and 2 in each player's deck. But I think both players want them, so whoever grabs them first, I think, is going to be happy with it. Looks like Miles is going to pick up that No Mercy. He can take advantage of that KO ability, and actually it's replaced with an Absorb Energies, which is going to go very well with it. Gives you 2 attack, and when you KO a card, you get +2 recruit off of it. You'll probably want to be picking up that next turn, but we'll see what Harrison has in store for us. Looks like a Stardust entered the city along with a Phalanx. Not too much pressure in the HQ, I would say. It's going to be, in the city, it's going to be a little rough if that Dracula does escape, taking that Man Without Fear away from them. But looks like, but if that's what happens, I mean, I don't know if they even have the chance to get that much attack, but they do have a pretty strong early game so far. It looks like they're spreading out the resources pretty well. I would say between them, there hasn't been a lot of a struggle or fighting between these 2 players to get on certain strategies here. Looks like Harrison's on a pretty good roll here. Pulling that Animal Instincts is a pretty big game. He's going to be able to get up to, let's see, it looks like 3 attack. And he can take out the Phalanx here. He's got 5 recruit. He can pick up 2 more Animal Instincts if he'd like, or he can pick up an Animal Instincts and a Absorb Energies if he wants to be nice and efficient. Taking out the Phalanx here, he does have a Web Shooter, which is a tech card in order to prevent the KO. And he's going to pick up that Animal Instincts. Getting it replaced with another sudden ambush. That's great. That is there's been 2 so far shown up, and it looks like he's going to be efficient and get that Absorb Energies. It might have been better in Harrison's deck because he does have that No Mercy, but or in Miles's deck anyway. Miles's deck was what I meant, because he does have that No Mercy ability, so he's going to be KOing a little more consistently. But being efficient is what Harrison's all about sometimes. All right, looks like pass it over to Miles here. He's got pretty much all the Spider-Man cards in hand, which is great. He's going to be doing the revealing first, and this is the problem with Spider-Man cards right now. The top card of his deck is that sudden ambush, and he has totally bricked with his first 2 cards played. He's going to play Amazing Spider-Man, drawing 2 cards, leaving the sudden ambush on top. Doesn't look like he has any way to draw it as of right now. So it looks like he's just going to work with what he has. That first strike isn't only going to provide 1 attack, which is a little rough. That's the really rough part about that card. You can draw it with all these Spider-Man cards and Animal Instincts and Ninjutsu and all that stuff, but if it's not the first card played, it isn't going to provide that 2 attack. He's going to pick up that Animal Instincts, leaving 1 more in the HQ. Oh, nope, he's going to pick up that one as well, so it looks like 4 of them. 4 Animal Instincts have been pulled, and 4 of them have been recruited, showing the power of that card. It looks like we have a Ninjutsu and another Absorb Energies to possibly get into Miles's deck. Looks like he's just taking a little inventory right now, just double checking a few things, making sure he had all the right attack values. All right, passing over to Harrison here. Not too incredible of a deck, depends on what the web shooter draws, but we do have a Scheme Twist off the top. There are now 3 layers of Force Field on Galactus. Play that first strike to get as much bonus as possible. Getting a standard bystander. And he's going to draw a Animal Instincts off the top, so this chain could possibly keep going. The only rough part is he grabbed it whatever the cost. He can't activate the Animal Instincts, but he can activate the whatever the cost. He's going to draw an agent, and he gets to KO a card. He's going to get rid of an agent, it looks like. He's going to play out the rest of it. He's going to have 4 attack. Doesn't look like he can hit anything big. Let's see. Yeah, with these cosmic threats, he still can't. Doesn't look like he can hit too much with it. He's only got 2 recruit to play with. Looks like that ninjutsu is basically the only thing he can pick up, and that's what he's going to do. Which, I mean, isn't a bad thing. I mean, it provides 2 recruit when it's activated, draws a card, replaces itself, basically. I mean, it's an absolutely solid card, so no complaints, really. Passing over to Miles here, and whoa, oh my goodness, what a solid hand here. One of each of the Wolverine cards and Amazing Spider-Man. More than likely going to be drawing 3 cards off of that card. He even has No Mercy and Sudden Ambush already in hand. So, take a look at his deck list. He is going to be able to draw 3 cards off of that. Pretty much guaranteed. Play No Mercy, he's going to draw that Astonishing Strength, KOing one of his agents. And now he's going to play that Sudden Ambush to get that guaranteed 4 attack. And let's see what else he can draw off of this. Looks like he's going to go with the conditional draw first, instead of the hard draw, or the guaranteed draw through Animal Instincts. Got an agent off the top. He's going to play that Amazing Spider-Man. Let's see what... yeah, he should be drawing 3 cards off of this. And wow, oh my heavens, what a pull right there. 3 incredible cards right there. All of them are going to be drawn. Let's see. First strike won't be, but 2 more card draws guaranteed, basically off of Amazing Spider-Man. I mean, just absolutely incredible. He's going to play both of these Animal Instincts, and they're both going to be activated. My goodness, wow, this is a very strong play for so early in the game. Looks like he's just going to be adding up the rest of his numbers. He's got a great mix of attack and recruit right now. Looks like that Sudden Ambush is more than likely going to get picked up. And if he has enough, the Animal Instincts as well. Looks like he just has enough for the Sudden Ambush. Looks like he's just double checking, make sure he's got all the attack and the recruit value is correct. He does have 11 attack. He could take out the Dracula this turn and gain that Man Without Fear rare card. That card is incredible. It's going to be dishing out 7 damage. And as long as you can guess what the cost of the top card of your deck is, you can just draw and draw and draw all day. Looks like he decided to take advantage of all these cosmic threats that he can use. He reduced that Stardust all the way down to 1. And when he fights that, he does get to pick one of his covert cards and basically add it to his next hand. And he did choose the Amazing Spider-Man. Looks like he's going to take out the Morgue here as well. Looks like he's going over quantity over quality here. Looks like he's double checking to see if he can hit Galactus possibly. I mean, what was he? He's got 369 minus 9. Doesn't look like he can do it. And looks like he just, I don't know if he just noticed the Dracula or, yeah, it looks like he just noticed that Dracula and he could have potentially hit that. He's probably smacking himself in the head at this point. But he did take out 2 pretty strong villains in the HQ, and it looks like he is going to take out the Lilith as well. So we have a very clear city now, so not a lot of pressure right now. So that Dracula probably isn't going to escape, so if he can pull off another hand like this, he could potentially pick that up before it does go away forever. He is going to pick up that Sudden Ambush, great pickup, replacing it with a great Responsibility. And it looks like he's just going to leave 2 attack and 1 recruit to fizzle out, and he's going to pass it over to Harrison here. Morgue off at the top. Looks like we're going to be bottoming that Blind Justice and Absorb Energies. And we're going to get 2 fresh cards in the HQ, see what he'll get. Looks like we got another first strike. That is the 5th first strike. So all 5 of them have been seen. And a Psyblades. This card could be absolutely bonkers incredible. Deals out 4 damage, and you get +1 attack for each card that costs 2 or less. And may shock you, but both of our players' decks are just absolutely chock full of those. This thing could be dishing out 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage with 1 card, which is just absolutely crazy. Looks like Harrison's on a decent roll here, drawing a couple of his gray heroes. Just powering up his next hand for sure. If you're drawing a bunch of gray heroes, your next hand is definitely going to be pretty dang strong. Looks like he's going to take out the Morgue here. He has enough attack plus his the cosmic powers to reduce down that HP. Animal Instincts is going to get picked up here. All 5 copies have now been recruited. And he's going to grab another great responsibility here. It looks like we got, and a first strike. I mean, that's 3, recruiting 3 cards in 1 turn is a pretty good. All 5 first strikes have now been recruited as well. Not sure how happy he is in having that many first strikes in his deck, but still, passing over to Miles here. Does have that amazing Spider-Man. More than likely going to be drawing the 3 cards off of it. But I'm not sure if No Mercy and Sudden Ambush are in the discard pile or in the deck right now, but we're going to find out here in a moment. And okay, looks like he did brick on those 2 cards, but he does have an Animal Instincts. He could play that. He could play that, draw the No Mercy, and then use that to draw the Sudden Ambush. Not too shabby at all. This is a great combination of heroes. While they don't 100% sync up, you know, they don't all exactly do the exact same thing, but with that top deck knowledge and some guaranteed card draw over conditional card draw, you can kind of cobble something together to be able to still get all the draw as many cards as possible every single turn. It's pretty dang strong. They did a great job of making a great hero pool to take out a Galactus here, and right now my confidence in them is soaring pretty dang high. It looks like we have a small stutter here. Okay, and it looks like he's gonna pick up that radar sense. So this is a great way to sort of counteract the hitting a brick with his Spider-Man cards. If he knows what's on top of his deck, he can at least play the radar sense, name the cost of the card that's on top, and get +2 attack off of it. So pretty dang strong, I would say. So we have a small stutter in the recording here. Apologies. It's going to speed it up for a moment there. All right, looks like he did have plenty of attack. He had 9 total. Used 6 of that to take out both of the Phalanx, and it looks like he's going to get rid of, I believe he's going to get rid of 2 of his soldiers here, just to reduce his attack down. He has plenty of non-gray heroes that he doesn't really need as gray heroes anymore. Pass it over to Harrison here. Looks like we have a Black Heart off the top. Looks like Miles is going to have to reveal a Marvel Knight hero, or he's going to gain a wound. But he does have plenty of Elektra cards in his deck. Yep, he's got First Strike. He's going to reveal that to prevent that wound from happening. Not too impressive of a hand here from Harrison here. Just have 1 card draw of Animal Instincts, and who knows, that could change into something incredible for all we know. And it looks like we got Ninjutsu. Okay, the train is going to be going. That is going to be activated, so he does get that 2 recruit bonus from Ninjutsu. And it looks like he just got an agent off the top. So looks like the train is stopped, but still got 6 recruit. It looks like 3 attack to work with. Not much for the attack, but in terms of 6, looks like he's going to be picking up that Side Blades here. Hopefully going to take advantage of all of these 1 and 2 cost cards that he has in the deck. Looking for a really explosive turn with that one. All right, passing over to Miles here. Pretty solid hand. He only has 1 guaranteed card draw through Animal Instincts, but that Sudden Ambush is going to be activated, guaranteed. More than likely be able to take out the black card this turn, but we'll see if we can chain into something really good. Playing the First Strike to get that bonus. Always a good thing to do. Looks like he's going to draw that Radar Sense off the Animal Instincts. He's going to play that. It looks like he just has to do the guess here. See what he's going to pull. He's thinking. Looks like he's going for 2. And he did pull that Astonishing Strength. And unfortunately, looks like we do have an error. We'll have to see what this does. He actually wasn't supposed to draw that card. He was just be able to get that +2 attack. And this might be a little rough here. Fortunately, I can't send a judge down there in order to stop this from occurring because he wasn't supposed to draw that card. It's leading to a very strong turn. It's going to have a big effect on what's going to happen in this game. KOing the agent. A little rough to watch here. Can't go back in time and stop this. But let's see what happens here. He's going to have plenty of attack off of that Sudden Ambush. Getting up to now 17 attack. Might be hitting Galactus this turn. And that is going to have a pretty big effect on the game, but mistakes happen, and we're just going to keep going along with it. Depending on how strong they are at the end of this game, depending on how close they are, we might need to be doing a rematch here. But if they are in a very strong position at the end of the game, I think we can always assume that they would be able to hit Galactus at least 1 more time. But let's see what happens here. He's got plenty of cards here to use that Cosmic Threat on Galactus to reduce his HP. But looks like he is just going to take out that Dracula here and gain the Man Without Fear. The rare card is extremely powerful, dishing out 7 damage and possibly getting a lot of card draw. So this is a pretty impactful turn that unfortunately I don't think is going to be... Might put a damper on the game here. But in all honesty, his next hand would have been extremely powerful. He would have drawn 2 of the Spider-Man cards plus the Amazing Spider-Man. So looks like he would have got there if he just looks like he's just 1 turn off basically. But he's gonna take out the black card here, and looks like Harrison can't reveal, so the wound is gonna be prevented. And he's gonna pick up another Radar Sense here, and it looks like he's just gonna pass it on over to Harrison here. Another sudden ambush. That's absolutely incredible. I think, let's see, it looks like there's been 3 revealed so far, if I'm reading those cards right. Passing over to Harrison here. Pretty strong hand here. He's got, let's see, 3 guaranteed draws and 1 conditional draw off of that Great Responsibility. So he's going to start out with that, getting that 1 attack. Let's see if we can get off the top here. Looks like he did get a first strike. Fortunately, he isn't going to get that bonus because it isn't the first card that's played. Only a Phalanx of the city, so not a lot of stress. Looks like he's just trying to move him for the kill, trying to hit Galactus as fast as possible. Another first strike off the top. Like I said, the power level of that card goes down by quite a bit. The more cards you have in your deck, of copies of that card in your deck anyway. Get a Web Shooter, get an Animal Instincts, which is going to be activated. More than likely we'll be able to hit Galactus this turn. We'll have to see what happens here. Absorb Energy is going to give us that 2 extra attack. And he's going to draw himself a agent off of the whatever the cost. It is activated, so we can KO a card. Grab one from the discard pile, getting rid of that agent. Then it is going to activate Absorb Energies, giving him +2 recruit. Looks like he's just playing out the rest of his gray heroes here. It looks like he's got ending with 11 and 5. Looks like he's just going to double check and see if he has enough Cosmic Threat in order to reduce Galactus' HP down. Looks like he's got plenty of Instinct heroes. 4, possibly 5. No, it looks like he just has 4. 4 and 3. And it looks like it's 3, 6, 9, 12. He's going to go down to 8, 9, 10, 11. He's at least 11 to fight through the force field and hit Galactus. That's exactly what he's going to be doing here. And let's see. He's going to reveal himself a Sunder the Earth. So each player is going to have to basically KO cards from their hand if it matches the card that's in the HQ. It looks like it's just going to be all the other players. So it looks like Harrison's going to be checking his hand right now, and let's see. It looks like he dodged a bullet. I mean, he has 5 copies of First Strike are already been recruited. Same with Animal Instincts, so both of those were safe right there. And it looks like he just had the Side Blades as well, so he's in a pretty good position. He's going to pick up that another copy of Sudden Ambush. Great pickup for sure. I think a total of 3 have been recruited or seen so far. Passing over to Miles here. What a great hand here. He has the No Mercy, the Sudden Ambush, two card draw of the Spider-Man cards more than likely. So we got the top, an Animal Instinct, great. Another guaranteed card draw for that. And let's see. It looks like he drew a Bystander off of the villain deck, so a nice little break here. Possibly going to go in for another hit on Galactus. We'll just see what happens here. Got a great chain going here. First Strike popping up isn't the greatest, but looks like he did get that Man Without Fear. So that's going to be dishing out 7 attack when it's played. And he's going to have to do a little guessing. He's going to guess 2. And it looks like he failed on the first one, so he is going to draw that Sudden Ambush. Put it back on top here, but I don't think he's played the No Mercy yet, so he should be able to draw it. Just adding up some big numbers here. He should be able to hit Galactus at least 1 time, possibly 2 if things work out really well here. No Mercy is going to get played, going to KO that agent, and drawing that Sudden Ambush, and he still has another one in order to play. That's 8 damage off of 2 cards. It's just absolutely bonkers. Some rare cards aren't going to provide that much attack. Looks like it's a total of 28 attacks so far and just 2 recruit. Could pick up another Great Responsibility, which wouldn't be the worst, but more than likely he's going to use that just to fight through the force field here. Looks like he's just double checking his Cosmic Threat. Looks like Instinct, he's going to provide 4 cards, and Covert's going to provide 3. So it looks like he just needs 8, 9, 10, and 11 in order to fight Galactus for the first time. And let's see, it looks like he's going to need another, 14 to do that again. It looks like he's just adding up some numbers here, just making sure he's got it. Yeah, there's a lot of numbers flying around. He's got 2 different dice. He's got Galactus' HP, the cosmic threat to work with, plus the force fields he's got to double check on. So there's a lot of thinking in this game just to make sure you did everything correctly. All right, looks like he has enough in order to hit Galactus. He is going to pick a card at random here, and let's see what we got. We got ourselves, let's see, it looks like we got ourselves a Force of Eternity, looks like. And it looks like it's going to draw him some new cards at the end of the turn here. Still got 12 attack. Let's see, 3, 6, and 9. Looks like he doesn't have enough to hit Galactus the second time. So he's just going to take out the Phalanx and leave that 9 attack just sitting there. Looks like he's going to KO the first strike, actually. He does have to KO a card from fighting the Phalanx. It looks like first strike is just, it's done all it can, and he's fine letting it go for this turn. Passing over to Harrison here. He's got plenty of Elektra cards here with a Phalanx off the top of the villain deck. Only one of these first strikes can be activated, so it's a little rough not getting the full potential of that card. Looks like he's got 1 card draw with a Ninjutsu and a temporary and a conditional one with Web Shooter. Let's see what he's going to do with it. He's going to rescue a standard bystander off of that, and he's going to. Looks like an absorb energy is on top, so he won't be able to draw it off of that. But looks like Ninjutsu is going to pick that one up. I don't think he's going to be KOing anything this turn, so doesn't look like it's anything too crazy. Just double checking those numbers, trying to be diligent with that. Let's see about. Looks like he's going to use 3 of that attack, take out the Phalanx here, KOing the Trooper. Not too shabby. Looks like our cards in deck list is a little off. Looks like he's going to grab a Great Responsibility there to wrap up the turn. The Spider-Man cards can really fit in either deck in this situation, which is absolutely incredible. Usually, each player, there's just a little bit of a niche there. Okay, it looks like Miles is going to be drawing 12 cards for right now due to the Mastermind tactic that he drew last turn. And he's going to resolve the full thing here. So he's going to draw 12 and discard 6 of them. Looks like he's just getting rid of all his gray heroes, which is usually what you want to do in this situation. But now he does have to choose a couple non-gray heroes to be discarded as well. And thinking about No Mercy here, but that is a card draw. It's going to replace itself. Looks like he's just going to put an Animal Instincts back. Okay. Top card of the villain deck is a Scheme Twist, so the force fields are currently up to 4. It's 4 extra attack or 4 recruit in order to fight through that. That could be really difficult, I would say. But luckily, the recruit part of it, being able to use recruit to fight through it, does make it just a little bit easier to manage, I would say. All right, No Mercy is going to get played, drawing that sudden ambush. Great pickup right there. He's going to KO an operative from the discard pile. He's got a very strong hand here. More than likely to be able to hit him once, possibly twice. Let's see, Amazing Spider-Man. Let's see how many we're going to get off the top of that, off the deck with this one. Looks like he's going to be getting 2, leaving the Man Without Fear on top of the deck. That is going to be that means he can use these radar senses in order to activate it. Looks like he's calling 7. And now he's nervous. Now he called 8. Okay, final button. He's saying 8, and looks like he drew it. Okay, that would have been a little rough there if you got that number wrong. But he's going to get 4 attack total off of that one, and he did put Man Without Fear back on top this time, which is good. But he's going to use that Animal Instincts in order to draw it. He's going to play 2 of them actually, both of them activated. Yep, there we go. Nice drawing that card. He's gonna play it, gain 7. He's gonna be seeing if he can guess some numbers. He's gonna say 0. And it looks like he got right with an agent, and he's gonna say 0 again. And nope, Great Responsibility on the top. 2 probably would have been a little bit more, just a little more higher chance of getting it correctly though in that situation, but maybe just didn't think about it. He's gonna be playing some Spider-Man cards, drawing an operative. He's gonna be leaving those sudden ambushes for the end for the dramatic effect, I would say. with 20 attack and plenty of instinct heroes. Looks like he's going to be going pretty far this turn. Looks like he's just going to be counting up his cosmic threat here, see what he can do in terms of hitting Galactus here. As of right now, he's got 28 attack. So far, he's got looks like 3, 6, 9, 12. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 18, so he only needs 2 attack in order to hit Galactus, plus another attack or 4 attack or 4 recruit in order to fight the force field here. So not too shabby. Spending 6 resources in order to fight him. All right, looks like we're going to be drawing ourselves a cosmic entity. Not too shabby here. You choose a class, reveal cards, any number of cards of that class, and you get to draw that many cards. So looks like he's gonna be drawing quite a bit here. Looks like he used all that up. Looks like he's just contemplating what he can do with this. Does he need to use a recruit in order to get through the shields? We'll just have to see. All right, looks like he does have enough attack in order to hit Galactus. And it looks like he's got himself a panicked, let's see. Oh, panicked mobs here. So he's gonna be risking some bystanders based on the number of, based on the hero class he chooses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. At least 6 bystanders are gonna get rescued here. All right, looks like rescued quite a bit of bystanders. Had 2 paramedics in there, but no wounds have been flying around, so they don't have anything to KO, I would say. And it looks like he's passing with 11 damage on the table. That is definitely a rough one to let go here. Passing over to Miles here, or Harrison here. And let's see. Looks like he's going to be rescuing 5 bystanders. And drawing 5 cards because the last 2 tactics were both players, which is absolutely incredible. And he did rescue 2 news reporters, so he's going to draw 2 cards off of that. At this point, Galactus is, all of his tactics have been pulled. He just needs to move in to do the final blow here. And I think he's got it in the bag. He has so much card draw here. He can dig through his deck to find what he needs. It's very impressive. Got some evasive flyers, and I think he's got it in the bag here. He might just be doing a little bragging right now. Maybe just one of those test things you do, you know? Just gonna fly through, see how big I make that number, and see what I can do in the end. Looks like he's dishing out all 3 copies of Animal Instinct to draw 3 cards. Absolutely incredible. Looks like he pulled quite a bit of cards, including a Psyblade. That card can dish out a huge amount of damage. In this situation, I think it's going to. I mean, look at that stack of cards right in front of him. All those cards that he's played so far cost 2 or less. There's got to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe 7 cards right there. Probably more. I probably miscounted there. But there's definitely some potential here. Another Ninjutsu off the top. Great. Just draw more cards. That Psyblades is just thirsty for all that damage. And then a first strike. Alrighty. Dang, man. Oh my gosh. This is just an incredible run right now. Yep, and he still has a stack of gray heroes to play. There you go. Psyblade is going to be dishing out 4 extra attack, and let's see how much the bonus is going to be. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cards that cost 2 or less. Going to get an incredible bonus off of that. Wow. Very impressive. Just very impressive for our players here. And like I said, he could take out Galactus here for sure. I think he's just bragging at this point, which is what Harrison does at times. Looks like he's just figuring out that math. Ended up with 35 attack, which is absolutely incredible. Plus 8 recruit. And it looks like it doesn't even matter. He doesn't care about anything. He's just going to be hitting Galactus for the win. And it just can't believe it. Our players are officially 2-2 in the Fantastic Four expansion. Not the most impressive of record, but they got out of the slump they've been in. They lost the last 2 games, and it's been a little difficult on them. Congratulations to our player. They had a great time playing, and they were pretty successful, I would say. With that one exception of that little rules bump, but I honestly think that next turn they would have been able to craft another hand in order to take out Galactus. So not too stressful, I would say. we're not going to worry about it. Let's see, we're going to have our analysts look at the number of cards that our players recruited, and whoever has the highest is going to go on a pretty long vacation, because they deserve it. And it looks like we got those numbers. Looks like X-Force Wolverine was the most recruited card in the game, with 9 cards being recruited. He's going to go on a 5-week sort of vacation, just to refresh and to straighten his mind out. The next one is going to be Elektra. She had 7 cards recruited, and she's going to go on a 4-week vacation. Did pretty solid, I would say. I mean, she does exactly what she said she would do, and did it very well. Next one up is going to be, it looks like we got Spider-Man, which isn't too big of a blow. Like I said, he takes a very specific set of things to happen for that to occur. But that means he's going to go on a 3-week vacation. Looks like Daredevil had 3 cards recruited, so he's going to go on a 2-week vacation, and Bishop only had 2 cards recruited, so he's going to go on a 1-week vacation. So we could see Bishop or Daredevil back pretty quickly, I would say. But overall, I think that was a good spread of heroes. Really great setup. Pretty fun to play, honestly. Just a lot of card draw, a lot of top deck manipulation. Just a really great setup there. So anyways, guys, thanks for joining me. Keep your heads up, and I hope you have a wonderful day.